Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be a mid-rank madness between Civ and Ajamscott here on Deathaura, the latter edition. Top left-hand corner of this new map, it is the red Protoss player Civ. And in the bottom right, it is ajamscott. He is blue, he is Zerg, he has a spinning logo of a guy with his brain exposed for some reason. Big brain? I think that's what it is. Alright, man. Drone scouting here is ajamscott. Scott. That's hard to say. Ajamscott. Speedy zone. Zoom. Drone getting through. Is he going proxy hatch? I love a good proxy hatch. It makes me so happy when it happens. But no, it looks like he's just going right in the front door, which indicates to me he's going to go for a scout. I don't know, man. I don't really recommend using drones to attack warping in buildings because it will do nothing, and it's, time is better spent drone scouting if you're Mr. Scott here, but that's okay. So Mid-Rank Madness is my every other weekly examination of what's going on in the gold, platinum, and diamond sections of the ladder. If you have a Mid-Rank Madness game you'd like me to cast, you can send it to Snipermonkey. His email address is in the description. He'll look them all over and send me the best ones. I've had a bit of a problem recently because we can't cast any replays from a specific patch in StarCraft 2. Like the ones before that patch, fine. The ones after that patch, bad. Or after that patch, fine. The ones on this very specific patch, bad. Can't load them. Can't load them as replays. And so some of the ones you've been sending me, or rather sending Snipermonkey, are in that area and therefore cannot be cast, and it's a bummer. But this is one that works. I don't know who sent it in. So we'll just go ahead and try to give both players advice here. Try to be entertained by what's going on. Samacron might disagree. I really hate pulling all the workers off of your mineral line to try to kill a scouting worker like that. He would say if you kill the probe, it's okay. I would say, I don't know. So yeah, he did go one base. He opened up one base. He's gonna try to get through this wall. That nice zealot here he scouted that. So he probe scouted, saw the early pool, saw the early extractor, said I've died to this before. Immediately walled off and threw a zealot in his wall. And now these lings really can't get through. Like, an adept would be amazing here. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we can't kill all of them, but by golly, most of them go down. And now, there you go. Now he's chronoing out an adept. He should have done that, about 30 seconds ago, but that's okay. We got there in the end, and the hold is for real. Adept shows up, and the lings are dead, accomplishing one zealot gone, which is probably a good trade if you happen to be Civ. On the other hand, Mr. Scott here, he is droning pretty effectively right now. Same story for Civ. Pretty happily sitting on 24 workers. Do we have the workers rallied? No. You want to rally your workers over to the second base, though, Mr. Civ. We need to have a talk about that. Oversaturating your main is not considered good etiquette. And then a third base here at 320. So it's late, but it got some early ling pressure out. It didn't really pay for itself, and it did put him behind overall. If you're going to make lings early, you better kill stuff, man. You better have enough lings with speed, and the Protoss player better not be ready for it. Because that was not worth it. The early pool, slowing down your hatchery at your natural base, slowing down your third base timing. At this point, it would have been much better for Mr. Scott just to go for the standard 16, 18, 17, and then to do third base at about 230. He'd be in the same spot, right? He took some HP off of the gateway, but those shields are going to come back, and he killed one zealot. Not worth, in my opinion. Twilight Council opening here from Civ. So interestingly enough, not going for the Stargate, which is usually the recommended path against Zerg. So we'll see how that works out in the long run. I mean, this is where scouting is important. This is where one of the first things you want to do with your gas is get overlord speed. Starting around, 4 minutes is a good time to go in and see what's going on. If an Oracle hasn't shown up to your base by about 4 minutes, then you probably know it's not a Stargate opening. And what you want to do is scout. Getting overlord speed is so worth it. It's 100 gas, I know, but man, getting it and then scouting in here and seeing it's a Twilight Council opening, that's researching something, will tell you some stuff. It'll tell you, well, it's not going to be Stargate. It's not probably going to be a lot of Immortals or anything. It's going to be either Blink Stalkers or it's going to be Charge Lots. And, you know, Ling Bane is going to handle most of that, honestly. Zerglings and Banelings with upgrades are going to be great. Roaches, okay. They're going to be all right against either one of those things. We'll see how they do about it. But Roachhorn here, Evolution Chamber coming in. There's your lair timing in about 5 minutes and about 40 workers, which is usually how that works. At about 40 workers is when you want to start getting your lair and saturating your extra gases, which is kind of what he's done here, I guess. It's the general concept. I mean, if you don't have a build, if you're trying to get better at ladder and you're like, you know, silver, gold, platinum, get a build. Go to lotv.spawningtool.com, find a build that interests you against a particular matchup, and learn it until you can do it in your sleep. You will have a so much better time playing StarCraft, I guarantee, if you have a general concept and an outline of what you're trying to do at any given time. If you're just like, well, I mean, I guess I'll make some drones here, and I'll also make some roaches, and you don't have any plan for what you're doing in the midterm or the long term, you're probably going to lose. The further you go on the ladder, you'll find people who do have builds, who are going to do stuff and try to hit you when Blink finishes. Look at this. Civ's moving out with a ton of Stalkers like he's going to try to do this when Blink finishes. Blink Stalkers, amazing against Roaches, amazing against Zerglings as long as they don't get surrounded. Overlord, maybe just trying to scout in there, maybe just hanging out, minding his own business. I don't really know. But yeah, 48 to 44 workers here. Scott's doing okay. But what I'd really love to see is just a ton of Speedlings against these guys. Ton of Speedlings would be great. Ravager's not bad either because they have that extra range and the Corrosive Wild that you can use to zone the Stalkers out here. But I like that, you know, a lesser Zerg player would have nothing here. You would just be trying to drone up. You wouldn't have an army whatsoever. But coming around the south side and really catching Scott by surprise here is Civ. So the Lings come rolling in, get a surround on a couple of the Stalkers. The Blink Micro is kind of good. It is not bad for a mid-rank madness here. The Roach is getting big-time hits off, though. Yeah, Ling Roach together. Especially gonna do okay here. Look at this Blink back. Oh, the Blink Micro from Civ. What are we... Are we watching Parting, everybody? That's so good. That was some pretty good stuff. He hasn't really... I mean, how many Stalkers died there? 3? Not bad. Honestly, not bad. 24 Lings and 2 Roaches died in exchange for 3 Stalkers. Fair trades. Fair trades, I gotta say. So third base is coming up during the attack from Civ, which is just beautiful. Mr. Scott really needs a fourth. Here would be good. You already have Creep Thread in this location, so do it. Do it. I like the Overseer, though. So Overseer coming in to see what's up. He does have Overlord speed. Nice. This Overlord hasn't scouted anything, but whatever. Zerglings decide to go for a bit of a counterattack here. They're going to take down a gateway that's trying to warp in. And, wow, the Roaches showed up here, too. All right. They're going to lose a couple gateways, going to lose a forge, which sucks. But it's not the end of the world here. Roach getting into your mineral line is a problem, but that's why you have some units defending there, too. Scott is just kind of letting his money build up right now. He's not injecting... He's only got 3 larvae, but he's got 2,000 minerals and 800 gas. He's not macroing super well. He got some stuff done. He did end up killing, like, a probe. He's rallying Lings up here to die, and then smartly decided, never mind, that's not what we're going for at all. So still didn't get a 4th base from Mr. Scott. 3 bases rolling for Civ. Lost a couple gateways there, which sucks, and lost a forge, but, you know, overall, we're okay. Not a huge fan of Blinkstalker openings, the higher you get in the ladder versus Zerg. I mean, here's the thing. Watch professional games and see what strategies the Protoss are using against the Zerg. There, you will not see a Blinkstalker opening from somebody like Stats against somebody like Rogue. It's just not going to happen. So that tells you how good it is overall in the matchup. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Vern? Hydralisk Den finishing up. I do love a good Hydralisk Den versus Protoss until Colossus come out. Man, here we go. Blah! Again, the Stalkers not even really microing here. Kind of, sort of blinking the ones at the front back a little bit, but losing Stalkers nevertheless. That said, the Roach count getting thinned out pretty heavily. Some Hydras are showing up. They'll do a ton of damage, but they also take a ton of damage. And suddenly this third base might just be forfeit. There are 16 Hydras in production, though. Man, what do you go for? The escaping drones? No, you go for the hatch. The hatch isn't going anywhere. The drones are running. Catching them is going to be perilous. So third hatch is down. Hydras coming out are alive for reasons. And now they're dead and the third hatch is out. And the fourth base is trying to come up here from Scott, but I think Civ has done a good job there. Now, if your opponent's making Hydralisks and you see they're making Hydralisks, charge lots are going to be fine. I do like the charge lots here. Are they charge lots, though? No. Get charged for your Brood War Zealots here, because that's what they are. The Brood War skin. Classic skin, I believe is what they call it. But either way, get a robotics facility, get a robotics bay, and start making Colossus. Or charge lots can do pretty well against like a mass Hydra style play. Same story for Brood War, actually. Zealots with legs are fantastic against Hydras. All right, 12 o'clock base here from Civ getting taken. Trying to replace his third base as Mr. Scott, which is great. I keep reading this as Adam Scott. It's only one letter off, man. Let me have this. I do like the Dark Shrine, though. Not necessarily a when behind a Dark Shrine moment, but DTs are much better the lower on ladder you go. Like, against bronze players, you will kill them, and just the higher up you go, the worse they are. But at this level, it feels like DTs are going to be pretty good. Like, we don't actually have a Spore at the third base right now. Or the fourth base is more accurate to call it. And I guess there is an Overseer here, though, so that's good. But just overall, I'm going to have to give this to Civ. Civ's just doing better with the macro, doing better, I think, with the micro. There's really no question about that. Is he... Still no charge, man. He's going to slow Zealot his way into this base. Oh my gosh, that's so many DTs. That said, the production tab for Scott is killer right now. Lurker Den, extra hatcheries, upgrades, Overseers, Hydras, Lings. Really doing great stuff here on that production tab. And I think he's... Oh, there's an Overseer. He's going to try to snipe this base, but I don't think he's going to get it. That was not worth... That was not a good trade. You were ahead in worker or in overall supply or resources lost, and now it's 5,900 to 5,900. That was brutal. Okay, well, guess what we're doing? We might try it again. We're putting in additional DTs. Turning them into Archons, which against a Roach Hydra play, inadvised. That is not advised as a strategy against Roach Hydra is Archons. Storm is super good. The charge lots are fine. Stalkers maybe not as good. Lurkers here from Scott. Like, oh, that might be a turning point. That might very well be a turning point here for Mr. Scott. Getting Lurkers out against this particular composition is kind of insanely good. They're really good against the Stalkers. Pretty good against the Zealots, decent against the Archons, and if there's no detection, you know, good against everything because nothing can see them. The Burrow. The Burrow is real. Creep spread is okay here from Scott at 13 minutes. He's got active paths all the way over the place. Heading out. Both players taking a bit of a smoke break right now. Just stepping outside. Telepathically communicating, that's what they need. That said, production tabs are still active. Infestation Pit coming in. Templar Archives on the way for Mr. Civ, or Mrs. Civ, or whatever you want to be called. Here we go. Archon, Stalker, Zealot. Like, not a bad composition, but surprisingly bad against Lurkers. Of which we have a few. We have 7. This is a good number. He's also getting a Templar Archives. He's getting DT Blink, because DTs have really paid for themselves today, and they haven't. Both players having the same idea to take down the rocks at the same time, but look at this. Civ is scared away by the creep. I'm telling you, creep spread is good. It's one of the things I try to focus on in my games, and good creep spread really makes other players uncomfortable. It slows down their attacks into your base. It makes them second guess where they're going, and that time is really important to you as a Zerg player. So I'd love to get Storm, but instead we're going double Robo. So he gets a Templar Archives, and then he goes double Robo behind it. Civ is kind of all over the map right now. I'd really like to see just a plan and sticking with it. Link's trying to see is their base up there. There isn't. So still 4 basing Protoss. Pretty scary stuff. Maxed out here at 14 minutes, which is not bad. Really not bad at all. The creep spread, though, still pushing. Look at this. doing good things. Zealots almost... Oh, the Zealots have charge. The Zealots have charge, everyone. Alert, alert. Zealots have the Chargeroni. But they're not using it. You have to be moving for it to be a thing. You can see this, right? Oh, yeah. He knows there's an Archon up here. Now he knows the whole army's up here. All right. So he's going to just hang out. Oh, there is nothing defending this third base at all. Not even like a shield battery. I'd love to see like 8 lings just go up there and wreck stuff. So the lurkers are down. I don't know where they are, but just kind of tearing through this right now. Oh, I guess they're all back here. They really weren't in a position to save that hatchery, unfortunately. If they'd been, like, up here on the top of the ramp when you saw this coming, that would have been great. Speedy lots, charge lots coming in. It's like, while you're worried about the army over that way, I'm going to sneak on into your incredibly lurkered up third base. And everybody's going to die. I'm going to send more zealots in here without any supportive detection whatsoever. Fare thee well, all the zealots. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what the in-world explanation is for why lurker spines don't hurt other Zerg units, because I don't see how there could be one, to be honest with you. But it's a good thing for Mr. Scott, because otherwise it'd be a bad time. Just so many, he's just warping in zealots, man. Look at him staying on the edge of the creep. He's so worried about creep, except for the time that he came down here and wrecked this base. He knows there's lurkers. He has no observers. Oh, he's 8 observers? What? Oh, okay, sure. Oh, wait. Oh my gosh. That is so many observers. He does have one with this army. I don't know where it is. At least it's on the screen, so that's cool. Boom, ba-dum, ba-dum, boom, boom. 12 o'clock base from Shiv. Well, it's more like a 12:30, and this is more like an 11:30-ish. Ultralisk Cavern coming in. Banelings morphing in as well. Civ is up 88 to 41 workers. That alone is going to tell you that Civ's going to win this game. He's got detection now. The lurkers are not his nemesis anymore. I don't even think Ultras can save him because, like, Archon Stalker is surprisingly good. That said, there aren't any immortals at all. That said, the Ultralisk Cavern is not done. So this attack is coming in without the benefit of Ultralisks whatsoever. He's getting the upgrades for the lurkers. The range upgrade there, which increases the range to like 11 or something stupid. Dude, Civ is dancing. If Civ loses this game, it's because Civ was dancing too much. Just really unwilling to commit. Really worried about engaging on creep, which again, can't really blame him for it. And part of this is when you're ahead, just get more ahead. He's sitting on 9,000, 5,000 resources here. Kindness plating on the way, 3 Ultralisks on the way, and they don't take as long to finish as you would think. Clearing out creep with the zealots and the creep spread that used to be so awesome. Dude, why are you? No. He got one of the lurkers, but everybody else died. This is not good trades. He's like, I can take down lurkers. No, you can't. The lurkers have +2 attack, especially, and crazy amounts of range. More ultras, though. Dude, is Scott going to do this thing on effectively 4-base Ultralisk? I mean, it's totally viable. 4 bases is enough. Extended Thermal Lance on the way here from Civs. We'll see what that's all about. Does he actually have any Colossus? No, but maybe later. Again, when you have 10,000, which is again is Oprah money, and 5,000 gas, just get all the upgrades. Anything available, go for it. Kindness plating just about done. Adaptive Talons on the way. Where's Anabolic Synthesis? You need your ultras to be fast and speedy, so they can rush headlong into their deaths. That's happened sometimes. +3 attack coming in for the ultras. Is this... Oh my gosh. Again. I think what it comes down to There was a moment here where Scott was really vulnerable, but now that he has a majillion Ultralisks, he's less vulnerable. He has 7 Ultras here. So he burrows the lurkers in and says, hey, come on over here, guys. Is he going to trap them in? I don't think he can. There's too many escape vectors right now. Look at him not just A-moving. Scott doing some good things here. Banelings crashing into Archons, which is exactly what Civ wants there. Chasing back. Suddenly it's 142 to 92 army supply. Suddenly your observers are getting left behind and sniped by the Hydralisks in this group. But that's a pretty good position here for Civ. But all he has are Stalkers, and they're going to get wrecked by everything that lives here right now. Ultras are dying just because Stalkers do that bonus damage versus the armored targets. But this 12 o'clock base is going to die. The Hydra count is insane. It's +3 attack Stalkers, but the Hydras are pretty mean. This left side base going to die to just mass Lurker here too. And suddenly Civ is effectively on a 1-base economy. His worker count is plummeting. This Ultra is nom-nom-nomming on these probes, doing 13, 14, 18 kills on this guy. Ends up with 19. I'm going to chase into this space where, again, there's a cannon defending. Scott is like, what do I do? He's making a couple Colossus, but like, he's trying to send Zealots down here to deal with this, but no. Ling Ultra pretty good here. Dude, Scott's going to win this game. Are you kidding? 20 kills on that Ultralisk. Chomping down. The Hydras went back home for a minute, but that's it, man. Your income is this. Oh, DT's warped in and wiped that guy out. You still have your Overseers with you? He does. So DT's coming in. Not going to be as good with the Overseers, it turns out. Surprise. Surprise situation here. Oh, Overseers, look, coming down to save everybody from these DTs. That Ultra does stay alive thanks to the power of protection. And that's your good game. Scott ends up winning it with a very powerful Ultralisk, Hydralisk, Baneling, Lurker composition. Very, very gas intensive. And ends up winning it. 31,000 resources lost for Civ and 18,000 for Scott. Incredibly cost-efficient win for him. Like, disgustingly cost-efficient. He lost 2 hatcheries and 14 drones, but he killed 47 probes and 3 nexuses himself. That final push, man, he did not look super comfortable or confident for the first bit of the game, but once he got up into macro mode, once he was on 4 bases, he was powering. And Civ just did not have the right composition there. He needed Storm for the Hydras. He needed Immortals for the Ultralisks. Immortals for the Lurkers, too. Colossus would have been good, too. As long as you could Immortal down the Ultras, the Colossus will tear apart the Hydralisks. But, no. They were too late. There was no Storm whatsoever. The Immortal, I think maybe there were, like, 1 Immortals made in the whole game. Yep, 1 Immortal made in the whole game is not going to be enough. Just a question of scouting what your opponent is up to and responding appropriately. So, hoorah. Really, really good stuff. All right. So, that is going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and a mid-rank madness. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
beauty is unending. I feel your presence. We are as one. I sense a soul. A soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. The path of ascension is before us. Our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. I sense a soul. A soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. I sense a soul. A soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. I sense a soul. A soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. Kalarulas. Aramulas. Aklaranas. Naslaran. Kinalatu. Casar di Templare. Daramanaka. Oshara Sashina. Kinala Tu.